I buy like 23. Won't fall again and I put that on.
Just off Lakeshore Drive, nestled next to Lake Michigan. That's where you find historic Soldier Field in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the New York Giants. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The first carry for the shifty Tariq Cohen. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now a man open down the middle of the field and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
On first and 10, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
You have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a first down on a gain of 10. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9.
42-yard line.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And he completes it to Cohen. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up a third and 1.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a third down.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his third and 1. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. A pickup of 5 yards. First down, Chicago. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. Down to about the 22 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a second and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And a loose football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. It's a foot race. The 20, 10, and this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown.
Touchdown, New York.
Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will watch this one land in the end zone. That'll be a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll throw right away. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Incomplete.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Trubisky. He'll get this complete into the hands of Riley Ridley. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Good.
It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
By James Bradbury.
But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Trubisky. He'll find Miller. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards.
Bears.
How about a guy proving his worth in different ways? Had the big play in the run game to play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game, and he comes through with yet another big play. That's why you work out so hard in the offseason, so you can stay on the field and accumulate big plays.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Looking to throw Trubisky on 1st down. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
10 at the 17.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
He will push his way down to about the 14.
Cohen's the ball carrier.
Good tackle there by the safety, Xavier McKinney.
On the tackle.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky. Stepping up, he'll try. Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Giants have it. It's picked up, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field, and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12.
Ball carrier.
Deshaun Gibson there on the tackle.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls, are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Jones pass.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
And
that's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
A first down carry for Barkley. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fool them with the inside run.
2nd and 11 at the 45-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, that was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that will be incomplete.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Always thought Allen Robinson was a high flyer from his days at Penn State, and none of that has changed with the Chicago Bears. If you throw the ball out to the perimeter, if it's a 50-50 ball, more times than not, he's going to come down with it. And some say he was the victim of some subpar quarterback play last year. He didn't let that bother him at all. Still had 98 catches and over 1,000 yards receiving. Allen Robinson just goes out and plays hard each and every week.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5.
Let's go,
Trubisky will throw. That is caught by Cohen. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards there and a first down.
I would think that by now people are done underestimating Tariq Cohen because of his stature when they see him at about 5'6", 5'7". But he can do it all. He can run inside, run to the perimeter, but he also catches the ball really well out of the backfield. He had more receptions than carries last season. He kind of looks like Darren Sproles, who's been his inspiration as an NFL player. In 2018, Tariq Cohen was a Pro Bowler as well.
This one caught by Ridley. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the shotgun is Trubisky, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, You can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 38-yard line. A first down there on a pickup at 25. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Blake Martinez, 2nd in the league in tackles last year, gets another there.
A 3-yard pickup.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Credit the Giants' defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
49-yard attempt.
And this is not going to be anywhere close. No good, way wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. 2nd and 8 coming up. From the gun, Jones. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Jones now on first down. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Now throwing on first down and completing it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
On the pickup. Brings up
in so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 13-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. 2nd and 21. A lot of ground to cover. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Third and long.
Operating from the gun, Jones finds his tight end Ingram, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on fourth.
On for the field goal on 39-yard attempt.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Flush to his right. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants.
Touchdown.
Daniel Jones, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Giants 14, Bears nothing.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Second and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Cole Kmet, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked by Julian Love.
Trubisky's pass intercepted by the Giants. They'll take over first and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. From the gun, Jones. It's complete to Golden Tate. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Gostkowski's kick is good. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And the third quarter will start with a touchback as that one lands in the end zone. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They'll run on first down. Barkley. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now Jones off the play fake. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield.
Jones pass.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the third quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. But I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime. They're fortunate to retain possession.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 23. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And, Charles, they trail by 3 scores. Look, they're not completely out of this, but it's sort of go time right now.
Yeah, and they knew that coming out after halftime, it was going to take a collective effort to get back into this ball game. The defense got the stop for them, so maybe that can get things started. Now the offense has to pick their game up as well, and if they can put a score on the board, hey, they could get back in it in a hurry.
2nd down and 8. They go play action with Trubisky. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. And right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. It's complete to Robinson. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
4 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A good position to be in here, second and inches. Trubisky to throw again. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. Oh, Cohen lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Number 26.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Saquon Barkley.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
It's hauled in by Shepard. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Dance into it, and he will score. Touchdown, Giants. Daniel Jones, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing,
First and 10.
not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Now a man open down the middle of the field. Allen Robinson, kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears cut into that lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Throwing here, Trubisky. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further.
Bears 8.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And this carries into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
To Golden Tate.
Golden Tate, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook, not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Back now at Soldier Field, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep, and Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking...
And got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 36 yards on the play.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Robinson's got it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now Trubisky on first down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Cole Kmet, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by James Bradbury. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.
Intercepted.
That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation point, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They'll run it again with Barkley. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want...
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown.
The ball carrier.
Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Makes the
Gostkowski the extra point, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken about 7 yards deep. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play action. It's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Incomplete.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
4th down. Here's Trubisky. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Julian Love picks it. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Check.
On first down, Barkley. He's got the first down inside the 10, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
New York.
Saquon Barkley with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Giants 44.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Aqib Talib. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
He's taken down.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Again, it's Barkley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Here's Jones to throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. He's able to knock that one away.
3-yard attempt.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt. And here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. Taken about 7 yards deep, and Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
5-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. But now it'll be third down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
And Robinson with a big catch. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down.
First and 10.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a first and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play.
Bears first down. First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Rashad Golden. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. A 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
33-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Sometimes I need a check, not the sneakers, but the ones that make you watch your step. You change name, how about your respect? Give them more than when I get expected up the back. In fact,
defense wins championships, baby. 55.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page. quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Again, it's Trubisky. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. And for Charles Davis.